August the 11th, 2015. There is a school in the outer southeastern suburbs of Melbourne with a special story. Alkira Secondary College in Cranbourne North is a non-denominational school with around 1,000 students. The school is about to hold its third annual Holocaust Remembrance Day ceremony.
Good afternoon, distinguished guests, Mr. Shaw, staff and students. We would like to welcome you all to our Holocaust Remembrance ceremony at Alkira Secondary College. My name is Ethan and this is Chantal, and we are your MCs for today. ACOM will be delivering the Welcome to Country to begin our ceremony.
We would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land on which we are gathered and pay my respect to the elders past and present.
It is with great pride that I am able to stand here today and welcome you all to our third annual Holocaust ceremony. Throughout the late 1930s and early 1940s, arguably the biggest atrocity ever committed at the hands of mankind took place throughout Nazi Germany. We are lucky enough to have the opportunity to listen to survivors as well as talk to them about their experiences to ensure that they live on throughout our generation, our succeeding generation, and the many generations to follow.
Once again, we would like to welcome you to our third Holocaust Remembrance ceremony at Alkira Secondary College. The importance of remembering the Holocaust was mentioned by the Honourable Julia Gillard MP in 2012. She says, "The more time passes from the Shoah, the more imperative it is to ensure that memories do not fade, the history is not rewritten, that the Holocaust and its meaning is represented to every generation, that we never fail to bear witness, so we pledge once more here today, joining with people of goodwill in every country to say, never again, never ever again." This ceremony is to honour the memory of the 6 million Jewish people who perished during the period of the Holocaust, 1.5 million of whom were children. This ceremony at Alkira Secondary College is to ensure that this great loss to the world is never forgotten.
Let the rain come and wash away the ancient grudges, the bitter hatreds held and nurtured over generations. Let the rain wash away the memory of the hurt, the neglect. Then let the sun come out and fill the sky with rainbows. Let the warmth of the sun heal us wherever we are broken.
Let it burn away the fog so that we can see each other clearly, so that we can see beyond labels, beyond accents, gender or skin colour. Let the warmth and brightness of the sun melt our selfishness, so that we can share the joys and feel the sorrows of our neighbours. And let the light of the sun be so strong that we will see all people as our neighbours.
Let the earth, nourished by rain, bring forth flowers to surround us with beauty, and let the mountains teach our hearts to reach upward to heaven.
Now, Peter will talk to you later about the Holocaust, about his personal memories and experiences. The Holocaust is not your personal memory, however, it is your inheritance. The great achievement of your teachers, the great achievement of this school, is that you now understand that the Holocaust is your inheritance, and you are saying never again. On behalf of Courage to Care, on behalf of all decent people who applaud positive human behaviour, I thank Alkira Secondary College.
In 1945, at the end of the war, there were thousands, tens of thousands of children and adults walking around Europe looking for each other. Children looking for parents, parents looking for children. And they never found each other. Many of them never ever found themselves again. Prejudice, discrimination, racism and bigotry was at the root of the Holocaust, and we must be very careful not to let these evils take a root in our communities. Stand up and fight prejudice you see around you. You have an opportunity and a responsibility in contributing to make a healthy community in which you are going to live. A community that has learned from the mistakes of the past in order to make a better future. The way to fight this is to get to know the stranger, embrace them, include them, and make them feel safe and welcome. Recognize our common humanity rather than the differences between us. As the song goes, I am Australian, we are one, but we are many. Thank you.
Today and always we remember the Holocaust, and on the way it demonstrates human capacity for evil and for good. Together we affirm our commitment and foster understanding, respect and justice in our communities to ensure the lesson of the Holocaust are never forgotten. Thank you.
We would like to thank you, the students and staff of Alkira Secondary College, for hosting us at this special Holocaust Remembrance Day.
When we reflect on the Holocaust, we recall the past in order to ensure that it is not forgotten and commit ourselves to ensuring that such tragedies and atrocities never again repeat themselves in the present day or in the future.
The Holocaust is a crucial part of our Jewish identity, and we are humbled and moved to be here with you today on this solemn occasion as we work together to commemorate those lost in the Holocaust and commit ourselves to remember and never forget.
When they changed the law,
you looked the other way.
When they came at night,
you looked the other way.
When they put us in ghettos,
you looked the other way.
When they put us in concentration camps,
you looked the other way.
When they took us on death marches,
you looked the other way.
When they slaughtered our children,
you looked the other way.
When they come for you,
who will be left to look the other way?
Most of the 6 million Jews who were murdered during the Holocaust have not yet been identified. It is important to give these victims of the Holocaust a name and therefore an identity.
Each guest, teacher and student is invited to light a candle from the person next to them. Whilst your candle is being lit, say the name of the person from the Holocaust that you are remembering. Please hold on to the candle for the rest of this ceremony. We will now observe a short period of silence.
The last, the very last, so richly, brightly, dazzling yellow, perhaps if the sun's tears would sing against a white stone.
Such yellow is carried lightly way up high. It went away, I'm sure, because it wished to kiss the world goodbye.
For 7 years I've lived in here, penned up inside this ghetto, but I have found what I have loved here. The dandelions called to me, and the white chestnut branches in the court. Only I never saw another butterfly.
The butterfly was the last one. Butterflies don't live in here, in the ghetto.
Learning about the Holocaust and those who were stripped of their basic human rights, followed by the slaughter of human beings in crematoriums and gas chambers, breaks my heart. It astonishes me at how one person, followed by one nation, has a belief that they have complete power over another race. And furthermore, the belief that it is acceptable to exterminate an entire race of innocent people. Men were left nothing but flesh and bone. So must we learn to pay our respects to those who endured such tolerance in past experiences, and must we learn a lesson from such events and promise one another that we will, despite our differences, we will care for one another and never deny anyone as being a human being. Now must we say rest in peace to those whose lives were taken from such atrocities in our past.
What does the Holocaust mean to me? In reflecting on this, I came to realise the Holocaust has meant different things in different periods of my life. My first memory of the Holocaust was learning about it in high school. I didn't really understand the magnitude of the Holocaust then, but upon entering high school, during humanities we learnt in depth in history of World War II and the horrors of the Hitler regime. All I could feel was grief for the fallen and relief hearing the stories of the ones who escaped.
It's surprising that when I went into the class thinking that this was a piece of history that was on the past and was just something to reflect on, and then I started to realise that on a smaller scale, the same genocide happens all around the world. This is a piece of history that is still very alive today. I have learned the past events really reflect on the problems we see happening today. What I have learned through the subject I will always carry through life with me. It is a lesson to everyone that there are problems outside our own lives. It is so important that we stand up against injustice so that such tragic events should never reoccur.
Jewish Holocaust Museum Development Officer Ruben Zilbazbik tells Fairfax Media that Miss Costa's actions were a shining example of the best of human behaviour. It's about people being upstanders opposed to bystanders, at great risk to themselves and their entire families, and Constance is an ordinary person who did extraordinary things.
We will remember them.
We will remember them. Please blow out your candle.
Throughout history, we are reminded of often tragic events that shape our humanity and our culture. None more so than the Holocaust. We must never forget. Our college supports any action to improve the empathy of our young, who fortunately have not had to survive these tragedies or have families directly involved in such tragedies. They do, however, live in a world that is often plagued with fear of terrorism, climate change, racism, discrimination, drug addiction, domestic violence and mental health. Our college, we value the importance of education and programs and projects and ceremonies to remember the events that shape our world and our lives, the Holocaust, Anzac Day, the Nanjing Massacre, apartheid, civil rights and respect for our Indigenous people and multiculturalism. All help to give our children a greater awareness of the suffering and the endurance, of the hatred and the humanity, of perseverance and resilience, of the courage to care, to speak out and to sign up.
On behalf of the staff and students of Alkira Secondary College, we would like to thank you for attending this remembrance ceremony.
The other thing that I introduced as part of the curriculum is you have to look at leadership, and so I looked at people that were righteous among the nations as an example of good leadership, and the students then analysed leadership looking at these people and did an investigation of the concept of leadership using people that were righteous among the nations, such as Schindler and other people. And then the ceremony developed from there. But when I think about my own schooling, the only things I actually remember are things that were really hands-on that made an impact. So if we run ceremonies like this at schools, we leave a lasting impact on the students that will take them into their grown-up years, their years as parents themselves, something that they'll remember because they were actively a part of it, they owned it. I want to put out there into the Victorian and wider Australian community the challenge that every school should have a responsibility to not run, well, to start to run an Anzac ceremony because that's part of their heritage, but also to remember the Holocaust and other really significant events that have happened in world history through ceremonies and other ways of remembering, like by creating gardens, by creating memorials, by having arts displays, anything that's going to make a permanent impact on those students that are a part of it. I've taken students twice to Courage to Care. We went when they were at St Margaret's, and we also went at John Paul College, and it had an impact on the students. And it's great because the impact, you have survivors talk, they have displays there, but then you work in small groups, and what's really good in the small groups is you talk about standing up. Do you have the courage to be the person who's going to stand up against something that's wrong? And I like that it challenges students about that concept, to be an upstander, not just to be someone who's going to watch what's going to happen and just let it happen.
You have been watching extracts from the 3rd Annual Holocaust Remembrance Day ceremony conducted by Alkira College in Cranbourne North, Victoria on August 11, 2015. The ceremony was conceived by the school and teachers Nicole Scott and Christine Wolfe, recipients of the Pauline Glass Study Grant from the Royal Wallenberg unit of B'nai B'rith, who attended the Gandil Holocaust Studies program for Australian educators at Yad Vashem in Israel. For further information about the study grant or conducting your own Holocaust Remembrance ceremony, please contact Courage to Care on 039 500 2313 or email office@couragetocare.org.au.